I've recently been introduced to Epic the Musical, and in my daily obsessive re-listen of every single song, specifically the Underworld saga, I've realized something about the song No Longer You, which is that Tiresias is literally just rage baiting Odysseus the entire song. And I think it took me a while to notice this because he has a, dare I say, angelic voice. Honestly, if I was dead and in the underworld, I'd want to rage bait him too because you're bored. Like, the underworld is terrible, okay? I've read a lot of Greek mythology, okay? Like, it literally sucks. Isn't there that quote that's like, I'd rather be a slave in the real world than like king of the underworld? Like, that place sucks for everyone, okay? So I get why he's rage baiting him, because you know this is one of probably the few times that he can have fun. But I'm just gonna go through this song and explain and show how he's rage baiting him. First of all, he does a little introduction. I'm the prophet. Time of unlocked it. I see past and future running through. Okay. Odysseus probably like, yes, we get it. That's why I'm here. And then he says, there's a world where I help you get home, but that's not the world I know. Oh. And Odysseus says, what? Recently, because he traveled all the way over here. Circe literally helped him, only for you to be like, yeah, I could help you, but nope, I'm not going to. Oh. Okay. Well, let's just keep going. I see a song of past romance, or I see portrayals of betrayal. Okay, like he is kind of like, well, he's not being helpful because he's being very, very vague. Because really, he could be like, oh yeah, like, and before you're like, oh well, if he said it, then it wouldn't happen. That's really the opposite of what happens in like every Greek story. Is people are told the future, and then when they try to prevent it, it doesn't work out. But maybe in this case, it's like because Odysseus wants it to happen, it wouldn't work out. I don't know, because like remember Oedipus? Try to prevent that, did not work out. And Zeus's dad, like that didn't work out either, okay? He ate all his kids and then now he got overthrown. If he, who knows, maybe if he didn't eat his children, he wouldn't have been overthrown. Maybe. Yeah, so he's like, he's being vague, he's being very, very vague. I see in a brother's final stand. I see you on the brink of death. I see you draw your final breath. I see a man who gets to make it home alive, but it's no longer you. Odysseus is reasonably upset. This can't be. We've suffered and sailed through the till this hell. Nay, tell us our efforts are for nothing. Like, no, he's like, he technically is telling Odysseus, you make it home, but like you're no longer you. Because I think Odysseus kind of says that in his final song, but still, like, you're upsetting him, and for what? Like, Odysseus has been away from his house for years and years, and now he finally is like, oh my gosh, now I get to learn if I'm gonna make it home and see my wife and my child. But no, he's just rage baiting him. He's just been like, I see a man who makes it home, but no longer you. See, unnecessary. I see, and now this is the kicker. I see your palace covered in red, faces of men who have long believed you dead. I see your wife with a man who is haunting it, a man with a trail of bodies. And Odysseus loudly says, who? Obviously, because like, yeah, he could have asked it more politely, but like, he's hearing about some dangerous men around his wife, and as we know, the only thing he cares about is his wife and his kid. A little like I feel like Odysseus' attitude throughout the entire thing is like, I miss Penelope, also my kid. But like that makes sense because he left when that kid was like a baby, so, or I forget his name. So like obviously he's gonna care more about his wife, and as a wife, I would want him to want to see me more than, oh, maybe that's bad. And then he just like, and then he goes on, I see the song of past romance, I see his sacrifice men. And like I said, like, he's literally just rage baiting him. This was so unnecessary. He could have said it directly, but he chose not to. And he could have really told him, like, he could have helped him a little bit, because honestly, when you think about it, like, this trip did not help at all. The sirens helped more than he did. That's really crazy. Like, they literally traveled all this way for nothing. And yeah, like he said, he could have helped him, but he's not going to. And honestly, like I said, I would do the same thing. Like, I want to rage at him a little bit, because if you're dead, like, they don't have YouTube back then. They don't have TikTok. They don't have Reels, okay? So like, they're just wandering around confused probably. So yeah, if you're gonna be, although he can tell the future, so like, he might have a little more fun. But you know what? I'm not gonna knock the hustle. I'm just saying, as in, I guess, Odysseus defender, that it's a little unfair. And now let's talk about, this mainly was supposed to be about how Tiresias was rage baiting him, but low-key, Odysseus has rage baited this entire musical. Okay, and like even in just the fourth song, first of all, when Zeus is telling him to kill the baby, like already a little bit of rage baiting because he technically could raise him. Honestly, it was probably a good idea for him to kill the baby. Because if Zeus is telling you that baby's gonna kill you, that baby's probably gonna kill you. Okay, and honestly, that's what most things they should have like. At least he actually took care of that baby too. Because in most Greek stories, when they're told to like kill, when they're trying to kill something, to like actually usually, like I said, like they usually try and then they do it in such a bad way that the person comes back. But this is the one time where the gods were like, no, 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 like you can do it and it'll help you. Like this is the one time. So yeah, I do get him killing the baby. Like, could the gods have fixed it? Maybe, but who knows. The next part where Odysseus is literally rage baited is at the beginning of Scylla because they're already going to see this dangerous monster and then freaking what's his face? I don't know how to pronounce his name. So, but you know who I'm talking about. He decides this is the best time for him to bring up that he opened the windbag. Now, why would you open the windbag? That what makes me so mad because they were so close to the island. Like, I'm pretty sure they could literally see the island. And then you open the windbag. And at first I was like on my first watch, I was like, oh, well, why didn't Odysseus tell them that the windbag didn't have treasure in it? He does tell them though. And he especially tells him, and his bestie decides to be like, to open it. Why would you open it? That's so stupid. I still don't understand why he opened it. I don't know if they explain that in the book. I do have the Odyssey book, so maybe, but like the Odyssey book is way different than the thing low key. But like if that thing happens, maybe I can get more insight into it because that literally makes no sense. Why would you open that? Like, did you not believe him when he said that it had the storm in it? Like, why would you? Because I'm assuming when he went up there was a storm, and then he goes up and talks to Aeolus, and then the storm goes away. So obviously, using deducting skills, you would assume, oh, okay, like he helped, and then he's like, okay, it's in this bag, but they just don't open it. That makes me so mad. That makes me so mad. Like, literally, why did you open it? I still don't understand that. And then, so he tells them when they're about to go to Scylla, and Odysseus is already in a bad mood. He's like, I'm so sorry. Like, yeah, I'd ignore you too, but like he's lucky Odysseus didn't push him over that boat. And I don't know if this is true. Like, I don't know if anyone will agree with me on this, but I feel like if Polites was there, this would not happen. I don't know how, but like I can just tell Polites would like not let this slide. Okay, and then so after Scylla, like some people die. Okay, but like they're right there because I googled it. I was like, how close after Scylla were they to the island? And I don't know, Google low-key said like they were really close, but I don't know if that's true. Either way, they got through and they're obviously gonna make it home soon because the sirens really said that Poseidon wasn't blocking that way. And then he gets all mad at him. He's like, okay, you got 6 men killed. Oh, okay, what did you want him to do? Let's be so serious. Like, it's been 10 years? Like, guys, so we gotta go home eventually, okay? And honestly, like, the first few deaths were your fault. Like, Loki, you could say that they were Odysseus' fault in the first place because he's the one who left the Cyclops alive, and also who told the Cyclops his name, address, social security card. Okay, you know what I mean? Like, he didn't need to do all that. But Loki still, they had it handled. Like, Odysseus had that handled, and then you ruined the plan and got, like, all the men killed, basically. So, you know what? I still don't blame Odysseus for that. And now he's all upset because he's like, you didn't sacrifice 6 men. You were trying to sacrifice the 3 men that you went with scouting who were caught by Circe. Like, sorry he's almost home and he's like, okay, like, let's just go. Like, you're literally soldiers, okay? Like, and I'm pretty sure everyone who went inside of the cave with Scylla was assuming like, okay, I might die because you're going in Scylla's cave and she's so scary that even Poseidon doesn't want to. Honestly, you're lucky you made it through at all. So like, the fact that there's 2 people alive is luck. So I think that was so stupid. But yeah, he's saying we just ran. Yeah, and you lived, didn't you? Didn't you? And then he has the audacity to try to fight him, and he obviously is losing until Odysseus gets stabbed in the back. And then like, oh, we can't trust you, and we died on your wit. Okay, most of you survived, first of all. Like, I just think that's so stupid because honestly, without him, you all would be dead. Be so serious right now. And then they also, again, and how the heck do you pronounce his name? I'm gonna call him Locus. But he is literally captain or leader for 20 minutes, and now they're being hunted down by Apollo. Well, not really Apollo, but I hurt one of Apollo's friends, which, like, first of all, why are these cows always getting jacked up? Like, I feel bad for them. Because Hermes also was bothering them too, but I digress. Like, he sees that there's literally a statue of the god of the sun and that there are cows there. So obviously there's something to do. These cows are somehow important, and you guys already got in trouble for killing some sheep. So why would you kill these cattle? And Odysseus is literally being like, guys, like, don't do this, don't do this. Like, these are obviously the sun god's cows, and you guys know how the gods are. And what do? He tries to kill them, and oh, they're immortal, and they're the sun god's friends. See, he was literally captain for like 5 or 20 minutes, and he already got everyone killed. And that's his fault. That's his fault. Because how are you guys starving? Are there no fish? That's what I'm confused about. Like, are there no fish? And then also, aren't you like almost home? And he's like, I'm giving up home. You guys are right there. You guys are literally right there. And I saw people trying to be like, oh, well, like, it wasn't about getting home. It was about like them caring for each other. No. They were close to home. Like, be so serious right now. Also, I feel like they're forgetting that Odysseus literally led them through the Trojan War with like no deaths. That's crazy though. They get through the Trojan War and no deaths, and then, which is like a very long war. I forget what it was. 10 years? Either way, now they're gonna get killed by Zeus. And Odysseus literally told them, like, guys, he's gonna get mad at us if we kill these cows. And what do? They still do it. So you should listen to Odysseus. And went home because it wasn't that big of a deal. Okay, I get that the 6 guys died, but like, okay, you guys still skip Scylla, because you know some people still died when with his plan with the Cyclops, and then he's again rage baited in Thunderbringer because tell me why Zeus isn't like, oh, you're gonna get punished. Like, why is Odysseus being punished? I'd be so mad. I'd be like, well, it's not my fault. They literally stabbed me and then tied me up. Like, I'm sorry that they were being dumb. Like, why are you trying to make me choose between myself and them? Like, obviously he's not going to choose them. They just tied him up and got him killed, and he could have been home. Like, that's their fault. And I don't understand. Like, and Zeus is punishing Odysseus, and it's like, whoa, what did I do? Like, it's not my fault. I guess it's like, because it's supposed to be like, oh, it's his responsibility because it's his crew, and he let them go all crazy. But like, no, I don't think he should have been in trouble for that. And then Locus has the audacity to be like, but we'll die. Well, yeah. Yes, you killed... Odysseus literally told you not to kill that dang cow. And what'd you do? You killed that cow. One thing that made me mad, though, is when I was trying to Google, like, how close were Odysseus and his crew to wherever they're trying to... their house. I forget what it's called. Like, when I was Googling that, Google AI, because Google AI literally sucks. It had the audacity to be like, they weren't that close. They were pretty mad at each other, actually, after Scylla. Like, I meant distance-wise. I didn't mean emotionally-wise. Like, I literally hate that AI crap. It's so stupid. Like, how are you... There was another time where I tried to Google, like, if somebody, like, was bit by the same spider as Spider-Man, would they get the same powers as him? And Google had to be like, no, in real life, if you get bit by a spider, you will not get Spider-Man's powers. Like, it was talking to me like I'm stupid. Like, you're the one who misunderstood the question. I wasn't asking if I get bit by a radioactive spider, if I'm gonna get spider powers. Like, no, I'm asking about in universe. I literally hate... Don't get me started. And then he's also rage baited by that one girl on the island. We're not... Calypso? Yeah, we're not even gonna talk about that, because, like, girl, bye. You need to back up. You need to back up. Okay, and then he's also low-key rage baited by Poseidon in, like, the last few songs, because Poseidon's like, oh, well, you opened the bag, so now you're not gonna go home. But Odysseus handles that real quick. He handles that real quick, so I'm not gonna count that. But then in Hold Them Down, we have the ultimate rage bait, which is like all these dudes talking about what they're gonna do to his kid and his wife, and he's right there. Like, that was really crazy. So I hate how good that guy is at singing. Like, I love his voice, but then you listen to what he's saying, you're like, oh. But, you know, he handles them real quick. And honestly, low-key, you could say he was rage baited by Penelope in the final song, because she's like, okay, so move that bed. And he's like, okay, well, now I'm just gonna destroy it. But, like, that was her proving something to him, so I feel like that's different. Also, why does Zeus hate Odysseus so much? I never understood that, because, like, in the God games, he's, like, so mad about Odysseus and is like, okay, you have to prove it for us to help. Like, why do they gotta do all that? Like, why do you hate him so much? I thought you liked him. Like, you literally helped him. Well, okay, because I read the Aeneid in full. So, like, I know who was on whose side, kind of. Because, and I know the Aeneid is different because that's Roman, but like I also know the story of how it started. I think Aphrodite was on the Trojan side because she was helping Paris. But I mean, she didn't really help like Paris. I mean, like she liked Paris because he said she was the most beautiful goddess. She was there. And I think Hera, Athena, they both were on the other side, which is where Odysseus was, which Athena makes sense. And Hera, like, yeah. But I don't, I guess Zeus was like more neutral, I guess, in that. But like he seems to really hate Odysseus in that one song, low key. Like it was a little much. But yeah, these are my points about how Odysseus was just rage baited the entire epic the musical, and Loki, he was valid. I'm not saying everything he did was good, because Loki, the way he killed the sirens was crazy. Especially if he didn't kill the Cyclops. I was like, okay, dang, you're gonna kill the sirens and then not kill the Cyclops? Like, I was like, okay, that's rude. And I think Apollo says that in his part in the God song. He's like, well, he killed all the sirens. But Athena was also correct. She was like, well, maybe they'll be more powerful now. And you know what? Trust, they will, because they don't want to get jacked up. Because you would think they would notice that he's not falling for it if he's like asking all these questions. Stuff like, do dudes usually ask that many questions before they get lured by sirens? I feel like usually it's pretty automatic. Like they hear siren voice and then jump in. Like I don't think they usually need to be convinced. So low key, they should have noticed.